Yeah, 200 episodes, man. And I'm remembering how to do all this live again. It's not easy.
It is not. I am actually having trouble hearing audio.
You're not.
There we go. I can now. I am. Yes, I. Everything is good now. The videos were not saying doing sound,
Oh, okay. Well,
but
we're, we're
that's okay.
figuring all that out again. But thank you.
It's great. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we started out doing this. I don't know if necessarily accurately 200 episodes ago. It was a bit of a mess at the beginning. It was firing things up, trying things out, joining with whoever joined, talking to whoever was there and happened to be
Mhm.
part of it. But we've never been about perfection. We have strive towards perfecting the process.
Yeah, it's you definitely started this out initially and kind of having, you were up by yourself and then guests, and then I just didn't leave. I pitched my tent and said, "No, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to keep coming back every week." And it has been a great ride, and I'm definitely looking forward to keeping the show going and being a part and providing value for our watchers and listeners. And we're so excited to be here at 200. It is a milestone number, but it is um, it is still the show, and we're going to still keep doing and pressing forward. I do appreciate Microsoft not releasing a bunch of messages this week so we can actually take some time to reflect. Thank you very much for those on the Message Center team for holding back the messages for next
How many did
week.
we choose, man? We chose four from
We chose four. Yeah.
yeah. So the
Yep.
the the exciting part, I guess, for filling in that gap, it's not just about reflecting, but we thought we'd actually take a closer look at some big announcements that were put together as a video and a few blog posts with hybrid work and coming back to work and stuff like that. But let's just take a quick moment too to say hello to those who've joined us in the chat. Hello, Joanne.
Yes.
Good to have you here, and thank you for your video too. Tammy,
Mhm.
Teams by Tammy.
Mhm.
Is that your channel, Tammy?
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Think so.
Okay, Heidi, awesome. Thank you for the video too, and Ian. I love how Ian said. I had a bit of a laugh. Anyway, I should probably not jump ahead of myself because there's another video to
Mhm.
celebrate the wonderful
That's right.
people that have been part of this community. Shafina,
Mhm.
Sarah there too. Awesome. So this is cool. Shall we get into that first message?
Yes, we
All right.
shall.
Button work again. Yes. It works. It works. Side kind of comment here too. For those who have been watching our shows and back when we did more live shows as well, because we've been trying to do Premiere, YouTube Premiere, and oh my goodness, I just that crazy 1 minute 30 animation as YouTube spools the reel around the movie projector and says, "Here it comes, here it comes." Maybe we should just do live shows more, Daniel. I don't
Maybe, as long as you can figure out how to do the
know.
button thing
I
again.
think I think as long as I'm not making too many mistakes with the buttons, it's kind of entertaining. Yeah,
Yeah.
secret kind of backstage stories around that. Sometimes Daniel and I haven't necessarily done all our homework. We've read things and then we haven't refreshed ourselves of what's happened. Or sometimes
Speak for yourself.
I haven't. And sometimes a message appears and like, what is that? Okay, who's going to do that? Mm, mm, mm. And yeah, we take it as it comes, a bit like you all. So, in the spirit of what the message, first contact safety tip settings in anti-phishing policy. Yes, this is one of the four we chose because the others were very admin-y. That's a word.
That's a word.
It is a
Okay.
word. It's a word.
Sure.
Um,
Okay.
actually, I like this. This is
Mhm.
MC262087. I can't say that I've been using it in my tenant or I haven't seen it in my workplace. But the concept of if this is like a first contact from an unfamiliar email address, then it's checking that a bit closer and just seeing,
Hmm.
is this possibly a phishing attempt? Because phishing attempts usually come from new addresses trying to look like old addresses. So
Hmm.
this is a safety tip, a bit like those mail tips that come up and tell you and give you a bit of a warning. It's controlled by an exchange transport rule. I don't expect everyone to know what that is on the call, webinar, stream. But
Hmm.
it is used. This method is used a lot for all sorts of different things in exchange for doing
Hmm.
things to email going in and out. It's a transport rule.
Hmm.
So once this is available, you can opt in using anti-phishing policy and enable the first contact safety tips. And yeah,
Well, and this is a simplification, right? Because before, now you can do it with that transport rule, but now we're going to in the future we're going to be able to just check a box and provide that
right.
available. And anything we can do to simplify security. I mean, this is not a security as in a firewall rule, but this is security as in let's let everybody know that this is a brand new contact that's reaching out. Just be aware that you know there may be some phishing. It may be legit, but it may be
Hmm.
phishing or something else too. So definitely check it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So this is all right. Well, apparently the rule had been around for a while, September 2020.
Hmm.
But this is going
Yeah.
to be available as an easier function in late June. Can you call this late June? I think we've got like another week still, haven't we?
Close. I think if
Mm,
we maybe 4 more days, we can call it late June.
yeah, I like that. I like
I
that.
don't.
Usually, late June
Yeah.
to me means the last 7 days.
Week.
Yeah,
Okay.
a week. Yeah,
Okay.
complete by
Gotcha.
complete by late August 2021. Daniel, uh, we need to
Wonderful.
return to a message that we spoke at length on last week, and we held
Yep.
back, but they've had another go.
We
They've
did.
had another go.
Yes, we did. We did. And because, this is our 200th episode, we haven't been kicked off by now. Well, yes, we actually had a little bit more to say, and we did say it, but we kind of edited some things last week about this message because we knew some edits were happening and going to take effect. So they've edited this message to make it clearer. You'll see right off at the top. I'm sorry, SharePoint updates for Microsoft Teams connected team sites, MC261534. They have at the beginning, if you'll remember, the message we covered last week, it started to sound like this with this brand new message. They were going to start creating SharePoint sites behind when you create a team. Well, we already knew that was the case, and the confusion kept going with the message. They've cleaned it up to make it a little bit more straightforward as to what are changes, and it's small changes, really. There's still a little bit of confusion, I think, under point number one, under how this will affect your organization, because it says that the updates for both sites that are created for the team and then sites that are created for channel, like private channel, here are the changes. And then the number one point only applies to those channel sites. It actually doesn't apply to the team site. But other than that, I think they've done a great job of cleaning this message up and making it clearer as to what's going on. They've changed the image to kind of give a better idea as to what the classifications are for the sites and how that's all being reflected and the way they're talking about
Hmm.
it. Um, this concept of a parent site, I think, is a brand new concept that they, it's thrown in there as the exception to the rule of number one. But again, go back and watch what we talked about last week, but know that this message has been cleaned up just to bring some clarity, right? Just to make it a little bit more crisp. So that's the update for that message. And if there's any questions about, hey, how does this affect my organization? For those that are in chat, throw that in there, but or contact us on Twitter, hit us up, and we'll try to help you out. But I think the message is pretty clear now. The small changes that are happening. It's not a big change.
Daniel, some of the fun about having a show like this, or even
Hmm.
just being someone who wants to share their opinions in the community, sometimes people comment on stuff in shows and blog posts and videos and whatever as if we're Microsoft. We're not. We're definitely not. We're friends of Microsoft. We like to keep them honest, but we
Yep.
don't have the ability to speed things up or give you information that we don't have. Sometimes we have
Yep.
more, but we also have to hold back as well. So this is one where there was definitely some back channel chat, and we're glad to see that it was tidied up. Yeah,
Yeah. So our next message, Daryl, is all about search boxes.
yeah. This is
What's in the
a
box,
search
Daryl?
box change for guest users in OneDrive, SharePoint, and lists. This is MC262778. We had search boxes for OneDrive, SharePoint, and lists as our experience when we're signed into Microsoft 365. And now there'll be a consistent experience for guests as well. So this is, if I've got it, there's no screenshot to show you, just to say it looks like what you see. That's probably
Yes.
a good way to just summarize that. So guest users who sign into SharePoint sites, OneDrive folders, and Microsoft lists. Here's another way to think of it. You might have given them a link to a team site that has been exposed to be allowed to be available to external guests, or you've shared a OneDrive folder. And so that's their way of entering and seeing that content. They don't go through a team, they go directly through and see it. Um, or a Microsoft list. And so you're giving them, well, what's happening now is they get in a search box which is more consistent with your experience. And that actually really helps when you're trying to give them some support and tell them where that content is and how to find it. What else is there to say about this, Daniel? Same.
Not much. I mean, there's the only exception is the guest users that note there. Guest users will not be able to search in from the SharePoint start
Oh, yeah.
page experience, but that's the same way it is now. This is, and remember, it's a search box. So search is security trimmed. We're not going to find anything that we don't already have permission to. Now, just remember that if you've given, I've done this, I'm guilty. You share something in your OneDrive, for instance, and you just kind of put it in a folder that's shared with
Mm,
everyone because you want to say, okay, here's a link to the document. Go ahead and, and they can send it around and share it around, right? And if you've done that though, and people, that means everybody has access to files, that search box will reveal things. So it just like when you roll out search, you go from like SharePoint on-prem and go to SharePoint online and everybody goes, oh, here's this wonderful search box and they use it and they actually find
mm.
stuff that, oh, wow, I have permissions to, make sure your permissions are right. So that's the only caution I have here is giving people the ability to search is great, except for if you haven't set up your permissions right. So,
So often the case. Let's
mhm.
just put that document
Yes.
there because it feels like the right place to put it. Oh, more people have access to it. Didn't know about that. Surprise.
Surprise.
Daniel, let's finish on this other exciting, engaging update for Microsoft Teams.
Oh, it's engaging because you're going to get to see lots and lots of people. Paging in large gallery, MC263055. This is a feature that is going to allow you to see and view up to 98 videos. 98, which is an interesting number, and I'll tell you why in here in a second. 98 videos by choosing, you can choose that large gallery view, and then it's going to give you paging, meaning there's going to be up to 3 pages of 7x7, right? So that's 49 each of video. So if you are in a meeting, and I've never had this happen, by the way, but if you are in a meeting with 98 people who have their video on, then you're going to be able to see them all by seeing a 7x7 and then clicking the next page. You'll see it in that screenshot at the very bottom gives you that paging to be able to click to the next page and see another 7x7. I said the interesting part of 98 videos is if you do the math, 49, which is 7x7, times 3 does not equal 98.
Right.
It's actually only 2. So I'm not sure where the number discrepancy there is. 2 pages is what I meant of 7 by 7. So I'm not entirely sure why those numbers don't equate. But um, rolling out this in late June, so it's now-ish, depending on if you ask me or ask Darrell, and expected to complete rollout by mid-July. Wow, that's exciting.
I'm all for
Um,
creating a brand new month just to pack in some more
Mid-Jaloon?
changes.
Yes, might as well.
Jaloon. So that's
Mid-Jaloon.
like soon in
Um,
July.
that's or June and July
Oh,
together. I don't
great.
know.
Very good.
Uh, so the same functionality is coming, the paging, to the normal 3 by 3
Yep.
gallery in targeted September for that.
Did we have something? I think it was
Yes.
last week. They were talking about the same thing coming to the phone, and that you swipe to see more people.
Right. So this is, I think, in line with this whole experience of trying to keep people together, this hybrid place of work as well. I mean, it kind of just all plays into this. We're trying to make the meeting experience better, is what Microsoft is saying, and so this is part of that. Again, I haven't been in a meeting with that many people with their video
Yeah.
on. Typically, I don't know about you, typically for me, meetings are a few people have their video
Mm,
on and then everybody else turns it off because they don't want everybody seeing their video, I guess. I don't
yeah.
know, but
Well, let's say
um
it's, remember the webinar functionality is just a meeting. So maybe that's what they're pitching for there is uh, encouraging more people to put their video on, um, so that the speaker, the presenter, can engage with people and check things out and look over the many 96 people that have joined. Look, all the meeting functionality that's there, that's been expanded to have larger audiences. Perhaps this is something that could be useful. But look, I just find, like, if we go back to this view here, where you and I were in the picture, and we're just about the same size, and we've added a
mhm,
couple more postage stamps to this collection of stamps. Um,
mhm,
what people have often commented on here is that most people in this marketing kind of grid are all perfectly framed. Lighting's great, um, lighting, color correction, all sorts of stuff. So of course it looks good in this. Probably the best example is this middle one here. I don't know if you've seen that mouse moving around, but it's um,
mhm.
it's a group of people sitting at a table. So that's probably what more accurate. Um,
Yes. One thing I will say about this, I was a little confused earlier when I was talking about the numbers. It's only two
yeah.
pages. I thought they were going to do 3 pages. So that was my mistake. It's only 2 pages. So of course, 49 times 2 is 98. I thought they were going to do three. So sorry about that. I just realized, um, and that's not something I know about that shouldn't be shared. If they are planning to do three, I just want to give a
Why
disclaimer
not?
that I don't know
Why
that.
not?
I was mistaken.
It's a
So why not put a
it's a
third
bit
in
like
there?
the
Why
next
not have
phone
that?
release or the next something. Everything gets thinner, and every meeting gets more people in the gallery.
That's right. So that is our updates. We're going to talk about the video that was released. I think it was last week, talking about with Jared and team, talking about how to collaborate in that's, collaboration built for this hybrid work,
Mm.
right? But before we do that,
Well,
Daryl,
we wanted to celebrate a few more of you who sent in some videos, and it's just fantastic to hear some of those messages. So we're going to play that and see what you had to say.
where I learned a lot.
I just want to say thank you guys for all the hard work you put into this, and I love logging into the show because it really forces me to take some time out of my day to connect with the community, and looking forward to what you guys do with your next 200 episodes. Congrats.
So yeah, remembering how to do this, I think what I'd failed to do. Oh, we have sound now. Okay, well, I want to play that again just to.
Yes.
um,
Do
I
it.
figured
Do it.
out
Push the
how.
button.
I see you as my colleagues that I can sit and discuss news and updates with.
Would be it's a chance to catch up with fellow with friends in the community, to have a bit of a laugh, basically.
And it's definitely a way to stay connected in the community. Virtual friendships are as real as any these days, and I really enjoy the banter that goes on with the regulars in the chats.
You just run your show every single week and you don't care if the news are exciting or major or minor or fancy or whatever. You just run your show. You discuss the news. So I love your reflections, your discussions about the news. That's something where I learned a lot.
I just want to say thank you guys for all the hard work you put into this, and I love logging into the show because it really forces me to take some time out of my day to connect with the community, and looking forward to what you guys do with your next 200 episodes. Congrats.
I love the jazz hands at the end.
Yes.
Look, something that really touched my heart as we're listening to some of those messages too is just that theme that everyone loves to be able to connect,
Mhm.
and it's become so much more important over this last year. That look, things like this that we can do to try and help bring connection
Mhm.
and give a reason for us to get together and talk about stuff. It's amazing. I really enjoy it, and that's
Agreed.
one driver for us to continue to do what we do, right, Daniel?
Yeah, it was so awesome to see so many people send in videos that all, had some of the similar themes of, it is a benefit to help them in their job, but it's also helping them keep connected. So it was really great. I really appreciate everyone sending those videos. Thank you so much.
I'll
Really
have to
do.
play the intro as the outro, and just to be a bit backwards in
Mm,
Irish because we didn't have the sound in there. But Daniel, let's now go to our. This button works. It worked. All right. This was the return to work. Yeah, it was collaboration for the hybrid workplace, and it felt like an event, Daniel. That something was
yeah.
released, and but it was done as a video and a series of blog posts, and there was a lot of
hmm
things talked about that were about trying to improve the way that we work, whether we are in the office, out of the office, working from home, working from other places. That's the big theme about trying to, you know, make it easier for people to stay engaged and stay connected wherever you are. Did you even see any announcements that this was coming?
No, I did not. There was no announcements that I saw. There wasn't even announcements in the MVP
Hmm.
channels. They gave us no heads up that they were going to do this.
Yep. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's interesting that it was sort of dropped as a bunch of content. Some of it, which we're going to talk about shortly, is has been released or at least been talked about on the show, like the message bubble. But yeah, other things that came through. We just wanted to draw your attention to this because it is such an important topic for us uh, as we all return to work, or like in New Zealand, we've returned to work a while ago, but it's a experience that we're all now facing. How do we make a
hmm
better job of including people wherever we're working from?
Yeah. Let's jump
Yeah.
into it.
So let's see if we can get this to work properly. Yep. We have our first. Come on. Where is it? There we go. All right. So this is
There we go.
this is what's it called again? Fluid. Right. So fluid is something
Fluid.
that's been talked about over a couple of years now as a way of working together in one place and just changing things altogether, co-authoring style.
hmm
And they're bringing that into the chat experience within Teams. And the way that it was
hmm
talked about in the video was co-author in a chat. And I thought, well, co-author in a chat, who does that?
Well, I think not. I think most chat messages are not co-authored, but there are instances where you could think of that would help really do something like that, where you want people together working on not only what to say, but what to, like, all the different components. You could think of, this fluid idea, this idea of creating not a deliverable, but a component, a box with some components, and people individually working on those components. So, you could look at even the instance here where they're showing in this video of, I've got a table, lines. You could think of a way of, okay, I want a quick status update, for instance, I can say, here it is. I want everyone to jump in and give an update. And then we can complete this message, right? We're all put our updates, and then, project owner can come in and see what it is. What are the updates? Things like that, to where we can all contribute to components of this one thing, which is this chat message. Yeah.
So it's really, clearly, if I didn't understand it to begin with, it is a new concept that we've co-authored documents before, but now we're going to be able to do things within chat, and it doesn't need to be a call. It doesn't need to be a meeting. This is a group chat, and they're putting together a progress report. And you can see familiar kind of cells, like when we do co-authoring in Excel. I think it's really, it's going to catch on. You'll see this is a theme throughout some of these messages. So let's, or rather updates. Let's go on to, okay, there we go. My animation came in at the end. I worked so hard. Next, right. So, oh no, this is the same one. Come on, dude. All right, here we go.
There we go.
This one is about replying to a chat. Let me just hear all those. Yep, I can hear the thousands of people saying, yes, we can reply to a chat within Teams. So we've been able to reply to replies, or rather reply to stuff within a channel conversation, but being able to reply to a chat in chat has only been a mobile experience. I mean, at least on the iPhone. I don't know about Android.
I don't know about Android. Maybe some people in chat who have Android can tell us. But this is something that yes, if you have your mobile, you can reply to a chat. When you're doing one-on-one, you can reply and everything. It's so great. Love it. So being able to give some context as to what you're replying to, especially when you're not live in the chat. Right, you're not like live, kind of going down. You can actually reply back to a message before. Absolutely,
now,
love it.
Some of these initial updates that we're talking about, they come under a banner of asynchronous collaboration. For those who don't like big words like me, it means that you can collaborate and you're not doing it necessarily in real time. Like, you don't have to necessarily have a meeting. And this has been a struggle with group chats. Now, everyone said, oh, look, we have gone to using Teams, and we're using Teams for meetings and Teams for chats. And that's where a lot of organizations have got to in terms of their Teams adoption. Some of them have tried to get things going in team conversations in a team with channels. But they've like, I know there was one group chat we were using for design deliverables, and oh my goodness, yes, Phil, he said gig jam. That's exactly what the fluid experience.
That's what you
like.
said. Yeah, that's what you said when we were talking about that. Yep.
So being able to reply to a chat and signify this is the part that I'm talking about. It was way up here, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about this other thing, which is closer to my conversation. But anyway, that's, while it seems like a small thing, it's going to be quite impactful on our group chats. Our next thingo.
Yeah, I like this.
Co-authored
I like this a lot.
Notes.
Yeah, because as someone who creates a meeting invite, you create it, and then and sometimes even you're asked to create the meeting invite. Could you create a meeting for us to meet, next week to discuss this? Okay, great. Well, I don't know what all the agenda might be, right? So I create the meeting invite and send it, but then it's like, what is the agenda? I know one thing, but others may go, you know what, this thing, whatever it is, this item applies to this. We need to talk about it. And so you can come in and add an agenda item after the meeting is created and sent.
Yeah.
So
well, there it is sending.
That,
and it's been
Yep.
sent, and there's Daniela and Babak that have been mentioned within it. And boom. This is the meeting that has been sent, and you start to see people coming in and co-authoring that agenda. I don't know who
Yep.
MM is, or
but it is nice because you can create, it's a more, I think, a group experience for the meeting, right? To say, let's come up with these meeting points for these agendas so that when we get together, we can have meaningful and conversation and make decisions and move forward. So this creating the agenda is great. And then also, notes and all that.
Well, before
together
we
is
talk
good.
about notes,
Yeah.
how is this usually done today? Like, we have an agenda if we're lucky. Something meeting organizers do. But today it's in the text, the body of the original invite, and then if you want to update the agenda, the organizer has to add the additional points and then send it out again to everyone.
Right.
Or they have connected or linked to a document, a Word document, or a OneNote, and hopefully people check that new agenda. It's actually more powerful having the updated agenda co-authored in the actual invite that everyone sees on their phones, on their desktops, on their laptops. This is amazing. This is awesome.
Yeah, I agree for two reasons. One is the fact that both things you just mentioned. One is I don't want to receive email updates over and over. I don't want to receive 4 emails about the item because you've updated agenda because someone came back and said, hey, can you update the agenda? Second is I don't like an extra click. I don't want you to send a link to a document with the agenda or a link to a OneNote. While OneNote's great, don't get me wrong, I just don't want to click on it.
You might not have it connected to your phone for
Right.
this particular meeting.
Right. So right there in the meeting, I think is powerful. Yep.
Yeah. And Dean's asking in the chat there, isn't the agenda helper already available? So it's more than the agenda helper. It's also being able to co-author the agenda. Yes, we do have something that could help us by putting, you should add an agenda, you should add notes, you should add tasks. Actually, I haven't seen the agenda helper, to be honest. But this is more than that. It is making it available as a fluid part that anyone can add to as part of that experience. And the other thing to note here too, as you started to talk, Daniel, was about meeting notes, and that this is apparently powered by OneNote, marketingsync.note. Shall we go on to the next one?
Sure, please.
All right. So flowing on from that,
oh my gosh.
we have that's in action too. That you're adding notes now to the meeting. This is a running meeting, and so even the notes down the side are available, and you can open them up in a fuller experience of OneNote online. So that's extending that we see the life cycle of before the meeting. You've got that agenda. You can start adding notes as well, and now we can see it running during the meeting. And I think this actually is good news for a couple of reasons. The meeting notes that we currently have today is much like the wiki. It's and a lot of people go, "What? Like, I prefer to use OneNote." Looking at this, OneNote is finally going to be synchronized or updated, co-authored in real time. It's been one of my gripes is that the synchronization has got worse and worse for some of our OneNote experiences. Now we're going to have real-time co-authoring like we see in Word.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, moving on to our next one. This is, so there was some time spent on Whiteboard and also showing Fluid there, but Whiteboard has become an important experience for some people using Teams and that experience. I know that this is a marketing video, so it's about
Yes.
dragging things around that have already been created, and look at how great that person was at drawing a line
They must have
with
been
their
doing it
mouse,
on a
maybe.
tablet. Yeah. I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah.
Because
um,
not with a mouse.
no, but it's showing that flow that we've got the fluid component in there again. So maybe that's the same table that people have been working on as an agenda or whatever. You can bring these components out. You can drag them around. So we see a bit more on Whiteboard here too, that within a Teams meeting, yeah, there it is. They're working on the
Mm-hmm.
different notes within the table, using it for ideas. I think that tables in Whiteboard are probably more orderly than your post-it
Yeah,
notes. Like
I agree.
I can never get post-it notes to line up very easily.
I agree
Um,
with that. And I think what you'll see is they're really highlighting tables across this whole experience. So everything we've kind of been showing seems like a table is one item they want to, highlight in the chat or in the whiteboard. And I think the whiteboard is it's a great experience for that, collaborating together. But this table, I think, is you're right on doing tables, keeping things orderly because Whiteboard has an issue with keeping things orderly. The last thing I'll say about this, though, is the fact that if you read some of Jeff Teeper's tweets about this
mhm,
when these announcements were made, it seems like more of this fluid. There's more to it, more coming, and more to be talked about, it seems. So I'm kind of looking off to the side, looking at his tweet. So it seems like, this is not the last time we're going to hear about this, and nor is it going to be the last product that we're going to be hearing
mm,
about this fluid integration.
mhm. Continuing on with fluid and meeting summaries,
Mhm.
seeing that full meeting life cycle that we have, your agenda, we've gone through that and finished it off, but you've got tasks and things that you'll
Mhm.
do and try and organize after the meeting. So that's all also co-authored in real time within the Teams experience. And even if you're looking at the meeting invite from, let's say, Outlook on the web, then you're going to be able to interact wherever these fluid components are. So yeah, fantastic for that. I know that we're getting close to time, so I want to kind of
Yeah.
keep moving through some of these. Um, I think that was it actually.
Yeah, that is.
There was definitely some more things that were talked about in the video,
Mhm.
certainly around hardware and hardware partners and
Mhm.
things like that. But
That's right.
seeing the meeting experience and the collaboration um, being being improved so that you don't have to do things in real time is a big deal, definitely.
I agree with you. I'm looking forward to seeing how we can do some more with this across Microsoft 365. So loving it. So
Mm.
Darrell, is it time to see some more of our wonderful listeners and watchers tell how awesome we are? Because I need that. I need that affirmation.
I managed to put together that last montage and then the one that was supposed to play in with some audio for our intro. So we'll have to play the outro out.
Yeah.
The intro is the outro. And yeah, look, thank you everyone for sending in the comments and the themes that we heard there about connecting for the community, working together to keep each other up to date. And I think that's always been our theme, that this is not a single person's job to try and bring everything together and make sure everyone is up to date. It's a team
Mhm.
effort, right from the people creating the software to the people marketing and talking about the software, right through to release, and then us as a community trying to make sense of it as it lands. This stuff is not
That's right.
developed in isolation. That Microsoft are taking cues from their customers and working closely with them in private preview as they come up with an idea and test it. And then, did it sit well? Does it need some fine tuning? Okay, well, let's release it to to another kind of preview and check it out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I agree with all of that. It is a process, and we're excited and enjoy being part of the process, and enjoy having you come along with us and be a part of the process as well.
Definitely. So
Yeah.
that's 200. And what did you think about the playing around with the new format and trying new things again? Do you like it live, or do you like us to produce it the day before and push it out as a YouTube premiere? Do you enjoy the interaction? I think that's the theme that we've heard from the video as well. We do also see comments dropped in throughout the week as well for those who don't manage to make the live show. So we're thankful for that too, and the value that you bring down in the comment section.
Definitely, that is right. And make sure you do all the liking things and hit the bell and subscribe and hit the thumbs up right now. Go ahead.
Can you say ding-a-ling,
I'm
Daniel?
looking at it.
It just makes me laugh every time.
Nope, I just don't want to go ahead and say that again. I'm good. But no, we really do appreciate it, and very much so. We really do appreciate your support, and I can't wait to see some more of these videos.
Oh, right. Okay. So we're playing this intro as the outro. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Team live. Okay, Joanne wants to do it live because we managed to interact with chat and talk to people. This is good. As Ragnar said, we just run our show. We don't care if the stuff's difficult to talk about, boring, not exciting, or exciting. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
200th episode.
Congratulations on you guys.
Let's try that again. I had to run the scene to find the button to click the thing. So the thing-a-ling for the ding-a-ling. Don't forget to ring the bing.
I'm thrilled to congratulate you all on the 200th anniversary.
Wow, 200 episodes.
Congratulations on your 200th episode.
Congratulations on your guys' 200th episode.
That's pretty amazing, guys. 200 shows.
Congrats, and here's to 200 more.